Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train Your Dragon podcast. I'm your host HC, and with me are.
Wolf.
And Ian again.
Mhm. And
That's right.
despite Ian being here, this is not a Rescue Riders review
Don't lie to
for.
them.
No. I mean,
No,
in
it's
case
not.
you haven't noticed, I'll also speak to the audience who can only listen. I've changed my name everywhere to the spin-off expert, not just Rescue Riders expert. So there you go. That's now my official title, and I would like it
fair
if
play.
you would name
And
me
with
by
that,
it.
and with that also positive role change, this is Dragons: The Nine Realms, the spin-off which kind of came out of freaking nowhere. This was, as far as I'm aware, this wasn't teased. This wasn't really the one when he talks about it. It just suddenly there was a trailer. Suddenly there was a
I
new
mean,
show coming.
yeah, we kind of had with Rescue Riders that there were rumors because
Yeah,
the voice
because
actors had
yeah, there was
like
the
done
voice
stuff on their
actors.
stories and the
Yeah, there was
script
the
and whatever.
there was the voice actors, and Dean DeBois also kind of came out and said, "No, this is not canon. The Dragon's talk. This has nothing to do with my trilogy."
Well, the
And it's a
dragons quote unquote talk, but that's not
yeah.
this podcast
Well,
subject.
well, in the basic idea, the dragons do talk. There are voice actors for them. They talk.
I don't know. That's a different discussion.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so the Nine Realms kind of just comes out of nowhere. And before we get to the show itself, what did you guys think when the trailer was suddenly revealed? Like, what was your reaction to hearing the concept, seeing pictures, seeing the trailer? What was your What were your initial thoughts?
I don't know who wants to take this first.
Oh, I can go real quick. I didn't watch it, so my reaction was,
Okay, I did.
Okay.
So I mean, my initial reaction for the synopsis was basically interest and intrigue on how they were gonna do this. Scared, but interest.
I will say this, right? I heard it was, hey, we're getting a new dragon show, and it's set in the modern day, and my reaction was, huh, okay, I'm interested.
Oh, I just thought you were gonna stop at okay.
I mean, I could.
It's like,
It wouldn't be much different.
dragons exist. We see dragons every time we leave the house. So,
I mean, when I saw the trailer, I was a bit more skeptical, mostly because the animation looks.
I wouldn't imply.
We'll probably come to that.
yeah.
But
For me, I was kind of like Ian, where I saw the trailer. It's like the animation didn't look impressive, but I also kind of was crossing my fingers in the sense of, please be a work in progress. Please be a work in progress. And
You guys have been spoiled by She-Ra and Kipo. You think Dreamworks is gonna put their best animation on dragons? Ugh.
Okay, are we gonna?
I have 4 words for you, Wolf. Race to the edge. It's not movie quality, but it's.
I was gonna say, are we gonna go? Are we gonna go to comparing now? Because yeah, the other.
In a bit. I just want to say that for initial thoughts, that the trailer was I was weirded out a bit because just from the dragon design, which I kind of like, yeah, it's a nightlight. It looks more like a cow, but it's a nightlight, all right. And then like I read the synopsis, and I'm like, really? Because I think at some point, if people kind of expected this to happen, I even imagined that this was gonna happen at some point. That they said, well, Hiccup and Toothless' story is done, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we can do like a skip into the future. I think we even talked about this in the show at some point, that we'll do like sort of a skip into the future and see what happens. Maybe the dragons did come back for a bit at some point and stuff.
We did specifically say though that like we're done with Hiccup and Toothless. We don't need Hiccup and Toothless again.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. But that everyone I think was kind of on board with the idea of doing a skip, a time skip. Some people even wanted shows with Zephyr and Nothing, rediscovering the dragons. But for the record, I'm not saying we should have done Zephyr and Nothing. I'm not saying that it was necessarily supposed to be that early, but at the same time, 1300 years after and in modern times, I think was pushing it.
Sorry,
very much pushing it.
I was really laughing when you said time skip because I thought you were going to follow up with, but not that kind of time skip.
Yeah, and this is not a time skip. This is time travel. This is Doc Brown put the dragons in a DeLorean and send them into the future. This
at the same time, Zephyr and Nothing is too soon. Like the dragons don't need to be rediscovered at that point, right? That's too soon. If you do, it's a couple of generations after Zephyr and Nothing. We've seen Vikings and dragons already. What do you do then? Oh, let's do medieval dragon. We've seen that already. Go to anything out there, watch that, have fun.
Well,
do wizards, but How to Train Your Dragon.
There you go.
Which say it, but honestly, okay, we'll get to it later. But not necessarily medieval.
With that said, industrial era and dragons, I'm down. Let's go. We don't get steampunk dragon world. Let's go. I'm out for that. Let's do it.
Well, you say that, but and I'm not saying it was an interesting idea still, despite me thinking that it was pushing it really, really far. I'm like, okay, you know what? Dragons in modern times, and with all the technology there is today, maybe at some point archaeologists found the hidden world at some point. But at the same time, the way I was kind of iffy about it is that with putting this in modern times, you're straying a bit too far, unless you make it something more fantastic, or like say classic Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones or something like that.
I mean,
and this didn't.
Go ahead.
I'll give it that. I've seen a certain review from Polygon which mentioned that, or it was somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure. But it basically
if you mean what you linked
that...
me, if it's what you linked me, then it's Polygon.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if I read it there. But they basically said, they're trying to keep the, very much the feeling of this could exist in our world.
Yeah.
Which, granted to them, it's not that mystical, and it could technically place in this universe.
Like,
right now.
Barring Hiccup inventing a submersible and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But again...
Okay.
I mean, jokes aside, right? Like, that is the idea, right? Like, that...
I mean,
this is
Goofy
supposed
was
to...
a little more mystical as well.
True.
Yeah.
This is supposed to feel like, this could exist in our world right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Nine Realms is trying to continue on that feeling of this could exist right here, right now. No problems.
Yeah, I get it, but also my main thing with it, I think there will just need to be like a middle step to this. Like it's like we skipped something in here, but you know what? This is kind of an initial thoughts kind of thing.
I mean,
let's go into the show itself.
This does, open up the door, if you will, to hey. If you want those middle steps, we can do. Here's Cowboys and Dragons. Let's go at it. Let's have fun. We can do, industrial era Europe or the UK, stuff like that with dragons. Let's do that. Yeah, sure. 80s dragons. Let's go.
Let's go.
There's some dragon designs in there that they could reuse that would definitely be, hands down good for disco, stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but so anyway, back to in terms of the show itself, no spoilers yet. What are you guys' overall opinion? Like it, dislike it, in the middle? What do you say?
Okay, so just before we go into spoilers, I have a very important question for you, HC. So just keep that in mind.
Hear me. I'm ready. Let's go.
So just like what I think of the show.
Mm-hmm. Non-spoiler, just quick 5 words. What do you think?
very stretched out plot lines. That is my 5 words for the first season, I guess.
Okay. Wolf, what do you think?
But is that a stretched out plot lines or a dislike stretched out plot lines?
In
It's a
terms of like
mediocre.
this.
Fair enough.
So you're in the middle about it. That's
I'm in the I'll decide on season 2 because I feel like the first couple episodes were pretty poor, but I did sort of enjoy the last 2 episodes.
And if you remember the latest Rescue Riders review, you may know where I stand based on what Ian just said. But okay, Wolf, give us your quick thoughts.
I liked it, but overall, I would say I'm more so leaning towards cautiously optimistic for what may come. Meaning that as we get more, I might turn to more saying that, yeah, I enjoy this and I think this is really good. But as of right now, I would say, yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate my time with it, but I think there's some left to be desired here.
Mm-hmm.
So cautiously optimistic.
So my quick thoughts about it. I am very much on the fence / in the middle about this. And kind of transitioning this into a non-spoilery discussion, I don't think the show really knows what it wants to do. And it feels like on the one hand, it wants to do its own thing, but on the other hand, it tries to remind you constantly that it is How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm not sure
it does.
And I'm not sure necessarily if it's a matter of, is it too soon to have a show like this? If it's too in your face about things, or completely opposite, if it's not in the face at all, because like Ian kind of said, it feels like they are really trying to bait you into watching stuff that will come later, maybe. But when it comes to like the show, the plot, what you're given in these 6 episodes, which are available now, there isn't much there. And honestly, I also think that despite the show also kind of presenting itself in like a movie format, which means that it's not like in Race to the Edge where there is an overarching plot, but you can watch any episode at any point and you'll follow along fine. This is a bit more overarching. It's more of a mini series.
In their defense, though, they have to introduce the characters.
Of course, you see, right. The question is, does it have to be a character each episode, if you know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah, that's also what I mean with like
and
really
it also kind of
ends lines.
Yeah, and it ends with this with this obviously a tease for what's to come, but also I don't
tease.
know. Yeah, but but it's also like, why have it there and basically do nothing with it until, and again, it kind of goes back to this problem I have with shows these days. It's like the first season, it's just build up. Can we just have a first season that can build up for the future, no doubt, but it can also kind of close itself and leave me satisfied with something, and not just,
to be fair,
guess I have to, because this is a more problematic for me here, because depending on how they continue this in future seasons, I could completely change my mind on this. I could just say, okay, this was a good first season when I know what comes next. But as of right now, which is the only thing, I am not really impressed all the way through. So
to be fair, there are supposed to be more episodes, right? Like they released the first 6 early, I think is the way it's supposed to be.
Currently, nothing is confirmed. Just that it was this 6 episodes. Whatever comes next, we're up in the air at the time of this recording.
Gotcha.
I will be honest. I feel like this is probably kind of the same as Rescue Riders, where they'll put the first 2 seasons out relatively quick and then see what happens.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like that.
I hope this isn't a trend, a portent of things to come, of trends that will stay around, of, hey, we're going to release these episodes early, then we're going to give you the next later very quickly, and that'll be one season. It's just, if that's what we're going to start doing, because that's just, it's not going to work. And I'm sorry, but I feel like the only thing I've seen pull that off as of late, and I would need to watch the part 2 of it to be completely honest, and like to give a complete full opinion on it, but at least part 1 worked, and that was Masters of the Universe Revelation with He-Man. Like, part 1 of that worked. That's the only thing I've seen pull its quote-unquote part 1 off. Granted, the thing I'm comparing it to is Rescue Riders and this, so maybe not the best comparison, but still yet, 1 out of 3 ain't good.
But something, Wolf, because in regards to He-Man, even though it splits and obviously builds up for season 2, season 1 does at least leave you with something by the end of it. There's a climax. There's like this finality feeling to it.
Well, there's a climax in 9 Realms too, but
there's a climax in 9 Realms. Not to give anything away yet, but it still feels kind of like, okay, it feels rushed, and we'll get to why later.
I'm curious about your definitions of climax, because I really can't remember that.
Okay, so we'll talk about this in the spoiler section. But
I didn't say it was a good climax.
But something, He-Man, both are very fair points. But again, we'll get to it. So but in He-Man, you were kind of knowing that this was the end, then you kept it, and you knew you were supposed to get to that point. So that ended in a cliffhanger, while annoying in its own way. Still kind of, I at least left the season with something. I knew what to think. I knew what to expect. And you mentioned Rescue Riders, which, How to Train Your Dragon. Let's jump on that. Rescue Riders is a very episodic show at the end of the day. There isn't a giant arc that's going to lead to something as of yet. At least the show doesn't act like it has some sort of a big end game. Okay. This show, however, is very much story-driven. It's very much continuous in the way it presents its story. And obviously, they tease you for things that are to come. So that's a bit more of the problem.
Can I ask you the question now?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you prefer to watch more, the last season of Rescue Riders or this?
Ooh.
Okay, I'll say that. Honestly,
so if only those two existed, right? So the first many seasons of Rescue Riders didn't exist.
Well, you see, you asked me if only those two existed, but the thing is, do you ask me if those two are the only thing existing? And I need to
just the only options.
I need to ignore the Hiccup and Toothless stuff. I need to ignore the original franchise in general.
Out of these two, like which would you prefer?
Out of these two, what would you prefer to watch?
Okay, because something, and this is kind of my other big, and I kind of mentioned this before. I feel like 9 Realms could either work better or work less because it's connected to the original franchise. Rescue Riders, for all you can say, it's like the baby show. It's and I have some gripes with it and myself in regards to some characters and everything. But at least it's doing its own thing, right? Okay. It's doing its own thing. Shut up. Shut up for a second. The part. Send Winger at you, and then you'll most likely fire back at me because I'm the one who hates him. But that's another story. But the point is, Rescue Riders, for all intents and purposes, is doing its own thing. So I can judge it, as its own thing. 9 Realms present itself and built itself on the fact that it is How to Train Your Dragon. And this can work both in its benefit and in terms of making it worse. But I'll have to. This is more in the spoilers section. But you know what? Let's ask you guys. Do you think
you danced around it so much, but you heard it here first, folks? HC agrees. Rescue Riders is better than Nine Realms and is
I
the
didn't
best
say
How to
that.
Train Your Dragon show ever.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
exactly what I said.
okay.
No,
You know
that's
something? I
exactly. We can
said,
cut it here. Thank you for listening to the Berkcast.
I said that doing a time skip with How to Train Your Dragon and setting it in modern times is a stretch, but Wolf just freaking went on a marathon with what I said.
Even the
Give me
Nine
an inch,
Realms
I'll
couldn't
take 10
match that
miles.
stretch.
Mhm.
Got him.
Okay, you want to talk about stretch? I think even Mr. Fantastic looked at that stretch and was like, "Whoa, that's something." But so anyway, do you guys want to comment about what I just said regarding how it stands in terms of Rescue Riders or in terms of on its own compared to the original franchise? Before non-spoilers yet. We're still not in spoilers.
So
I
are
was
you
about
asking
to
like
say,
us, our opinions, which one would we prefer to watch?
I mean,
Yeah,
Wolf, we can
and
probably
the
say
end.
it in unison.
All right.
It's obvious. 3, 2, 1. Rescue
Nine Realms.
Riders. Oh,
I'll do it.
I knew it. I knew it. It's okay, and he actually means Rescue Riders. He's
No,
always trolling
I
me
know.
with it.
I genuinely,
know
I'll
he
come out and
does.
say it.
It's just me.
I'll betray my heel for just a moment, and say I did kind of prefer Nine Realms more than this season of Rescue Riders. That's right.
Okay.
I've stepped away from the hill.
Excuse me.
Wait. You said
What the
season
hell?
1.
No, I said
You
this
said season
season
1.
of
No,
Rescue
this
Riders.
this
season.
season.
Oh, like the latest season. Okay,
Yeah.
like the
Okay,
peak
so
one.
so
Okay.
first season.
Oh, Rescue Riders.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Or
Fair enough.
that one film, the song film, that one.
Oh, that was actually
That one hands down
but that was
better than Nine
genuinely
Realms.
good. Genuinely good.
That one special was the best thing about Rescue Riders.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but that was better than the musical episode in RTTE. Hands down.
I
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah.
Like I said, in that was kind of like comparing the apples to oranges, but go listen to that. We'll put a card up or something. Back to
Sure.
So Ian, what is your kind of stance regarding comparing to Rescue Riders? What would you say you prefer, at least as of now?
As of now, I feel like considering yesterday, I felt like it took me 3 hours to watch a 2-hour show. I will say Rescue Riders. Currently, because I genuinely sort of enjoy watching that, but that might change.
Stockholm syndrome. I know it well.
Yep, you see right there the fact both of them have to kind of say as of now that could change. That's a problem with Nine Realms.
No. Here's the thing. I think it could change based on if you really relate it to How to Train Dragon or really let it stand alone. Obviously, it relates to it, but if you really think about this is a continuation, or if you think about it as in that is the legend that is told in the story, but it's separate from it. If you kind of get what I mean.
Oh, I get what you mean, but that's kind of so. Let's just move to spoilers.
Yes.
So if in case you haven't seen Nine Realms and are curious about it, this is the point where you close the video, you go watch it, and you come back because we are gonna talk spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Still here? Good. So I'll just say one quick thing about this. A friend also asked me what I think about this show, and I kind of gave this really answer that doesn't really say anything, but I think can really sum up my thoughts. Don't go into this as a continuation of How to Train Your Dragon. Go into this as a mockbuster, and you'll probably have a better time.
Of what now?
A mockbuster.
A mockbuster?
Yes. To those who are questioning what the hell a mockbuster is, all of those terrible animated films which have similar names to big films, but they have really shitty animation and stuff like how to Train a Dragon Rider or What's Up or all of those or like Ratatouille and all of those Kung Fu Panda ripoffs.
Yeah, think
If
Disney
you
had
go-
Frozen, there was Frozen Land. DreamWorks had Kung Fu
Yeah.
Panda, there was Chop Kick Panda. It's basically the knockoff films.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I see.
That's what a
so
mockbuster is. Disney had Brave, then the mockbuster
Brave
is
one, I
Kiara the
think?
Brave.
Yeah, Kiara the Brave. That's one of them. But
There's
the
some
point is,
bad
if you
films
go
out
into if
You don't
you
even
go
know.
into Nine Realms as if it was a mockbuster of How to Train Your Dragon, I think you'll enjoy it a lot more, because a lot of times that's what it felt like. We need you to recognize it's How to Train Your Dragon. We need you to draw the connections, but it's lesser animation, which not the show's fault because budget and stuff, but lesser animation, rushed characters, and it tries to it tries to play the music, but the music sounds really off in the
I
certain
feel
scenes.
that's being
And
too
everything
disparaging.
about it is just off. It's How to Train a Dragon, but everything is off. And it tries to remind you that it is, but it's not it. There are moments where I'm like, I should feel something as a fan of these movies. I should feel something when I recognize a thing, but I don't. And that's the exact thing that a mockbuster is. It has the thing in the name, kinda, but the spirit is completely off. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. What do you guys think?
I feel that's
Right.
too disparaging. Mockbusters are
Yeah.
something. This is better than that. Great. I see what you're trying to get at, and I see where you're
It's
coming
not a
from.
ripoff.
Well,
No, I'm
Right.
not saying it is, but it's the feeling I got. It's the feeling.
Which is
It's
fair.
obviously better than all of those, but
which is fair.
It's like that feeling.
Which is fair. Like, it definitely feels like, and I agree. Like, when I came into it and being at the end of the 6 episodes, right, I do feel like they tried too hard to elicit the feeling. They were too beholden to what's already been done. I said it before, right? Hiccup's story for me is done. I don't want to see Hiccup again. Yet we get Tom, who is essentially Hiccup, mixed with Astrid a bit, but still Hiccup.
Not only he's not one-to-one Hiccup, because for one, he's way dumber than Hiccup ever was.
It's Astrid.
If he
Someone
ever
else already
came.
said it. He's Astrid. He's male Astrid, which is fine, but it's what he is.
You know what?
But it is
You know
just
what?
a slight bit of Hiccup.
Okay, you know something? I'll tell you this right now. He's not a male Astrid. He's not a Hiccup.
No.
I'll tell you exactly what he is. He's Jim Lake Jr. from Troll Hunters.
True.
No.
That's what it was.
No.
Hey, Jim Lake Jr. I mean, looking at the ending we got of this show, like it could be like, hey, he might be, oh shit, this could be one of the alternate universes where, Jim Lake went back into the past and things got redone again, and this is what we got. It's all gonna connect back, man. The DreamWorks metaverse, it's happening.
Does that mean his mom is Barbara?
Oh shit!
Because
that doesn't work.
No.
Okay,
This is
but
like,
listen.
I guess we haven't heard of his father though.
Yeah. Okay.
Half brother.
Yeah,
Haven't
we
heard of his
never.
father.
No, of Jim in Troll Hunters, all we know is that he's not around.
Half
dead.
brothers.
But
brothers?
before,
Yeah,
but
like,
something.
same father, different
let's
mothers.
Talk,
We're diving too much.
Wait,
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, legit question though, guys. In terms of designs, legit question. There's this like short lady, which I think is like the operator of the thing. She looks like if someone took
May Wong is her
Claire
name.
from,
She's voiced by
Troll
Lauren
Hunters. Wait, like if someone took Claire from Troll Hunters and mashed her with Edna from The Incredibles. What the fuck was this design?
I don't know.
It was DreamWorks falling back
seemed-
into their like overly comical designs for overly representing different body types. Like, hey, short person, let's make them extremely short compared to everyone else, so you get that they're short. Oh, tall, buff dude, let's make them like super big so you can tell that they're buff.
This is the one thing that the Polygon review actually also mentioned, that the main characters are fairly normal design, but like a lot of the side characters are just comically stereotyped design. It's weird.
And it's all kind of bland.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you have the traditional, the good-looking but dorky main character.
Shit,
You have
by the way.
you have like the black-haired, beautiful love interest, and I know they don't really get together, but obviously they're going. They're
Well, no, 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 no,
childhood
no,
I mean,
no,
they're
no.
going to.
No,
No,
The-
they're going to.
no. We'll get to
Wolf,
that, but no.
come on.
No, we'll get
We
to
have-
that. We'll get to
Look,
it. I'm
we'll-
going. I
can-
have
you know,
a
we
rant
have-
prepared. I have
Okay,
a rant.
and then we have the nerdy kid who is really sheltered, so she
Oh,
has
that-
glasses, of course.
Really,
And
really,
then
really annoyed me.
and then we have we have another unconfident guy who's who's like the biggest of all of them, but he has a good heart and it's very awkward. And
Yo,
it's like,
but
we've
yo,
seen-
yo, they
Yeah.
all have
Yeah.
the one thing in common. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
They all have the
What it
one
is.
thing in common. These
Tell
people
me.
got some giant ass feet, yo. Like, have you seen
Did-
the shoes in this show? They are huge.
honestly didn't notice, but
You didn't
okay.
notice? That was the first thing I
think-
noticed.
I think I streamed it for a bit to a friend of mine. I think he did mention it. Actually.
Like, their feet are huge. That was the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, the first scene when like the parent when Tom and his mom get off and like they're walking around, it's like, yo, their feet are huge. Then we see someone else.
Oh.
Then we see June and like, yo, her shoes are huge too. Then we see the others like, damn, all their shoes are fucking huge.
Yeah, and now that I'm looking back, yeah, they all have shoes.
But then there are other
The
people
same
with
size
normal
as-
size feet, and it's like,
Like, yeah,
big
you
are
know
these
what it
people's
is?
feet?
It reminds me of Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Have you seen his shoes? His
oh
shoes
yeah,
are
those things are
gigantic.
huge. Motherfucking clown
So-
shoes.
So I
But,
guess we're just it's normalized now. That's in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, but something I do want to point out that honestly, Tom, I did like the relationship between Tom and his mother. When I say Jim like Jr., the dynamic between him and his mother kind of reminded me of that dynamic, and not necessarily in a bad way. I'm not saying this in a bad way or that it's exactly the same. I'm just saying it gave me that vibe, and I like that vibe.
Yeah,
Fair.
that was alright.
The one thing I'm kind of mixed on, though, and again, this is what I mean with, we don't know, maybe they can do something with it because they think they're going to do something with it, but we would know because we need the cliffhanger ending. This is exactly how the producers sound when they pitch this. Is
You
that
think
suddenly
so?
he suddenly pulls up this helmet, which is obviously
Oh
Hiccup's
God.
helmet.
Oh,
And
we're,
it's like,
we're going
we
there
have to decide-
first. Okay.
and
No,
it's like-
no,
and it's like-
Let's just do
wait,
that
wait,
a
wait.
bit, because man, the references.
No, because hear me out. Because he pulls Hiccup's helmet, which is again Valka's breastplate, supposedly, and then he puts it on his hand. It's like, Mom, we're descended of Vikings. Like, why?
Oh, we're not
would-"
going
and it's
there
like,
yet.
No, I am going to go there because they put this in your face in the very first episode. It's like, okay,
well-
you know what? You want to do How to Train Your Dragon in Modern Times? Fine, do How to Train Your Dragon in Modern Times. Go
So-
wild. I don't care.
No,
But
that's-
why make this thing that it's like maybe he's connected to Hiccup? No.
So
No, you
No.
said
I've got a whole
Hiccup's helmet.
Got a whole thing.
That's not the thing that makes it that you can't tell it's Hiccup's
No.
helmet at that point until you get to the very end. I thought you're jumping
Why
there.
would they put so much of an
Oh,
info-
yeah.
You know something? Okay, let me counter it. Why the hell wouldn't you assume this is Hiccup's helmet? It looks the
I
same.
mean, I just
They
assumed it
played
was a
the
fake
music
Viking
when he had-
helmet, which I was fine
mean,
with.
Hiccup's helmet didn't have such giant freaking
that
horns,
helmet
did
looked
it?
huge.
Yeah, it did.
Ridiculous.
It wasn't that big. It didn't look that big on
Well,
Hiccup's head.
it's the helmet.
No.
No.
That helmet
The
looked
helmet.
gonna
Fuck
look
you
huge.
both.
Hiccup's
It is the
helmet.
helmet.
No.
I'm not willing
No.
to bet money on this. It was the helmet.
I mean, you're not
Hiccup's
wrong,
helmet.
but you're wrong. It's the wrong scene to set that it's Hiccup's helmet, right? I'm talking
Okay,
about the
I'm
very ending scene where they
Doesn't-
show the symbol on it.
Yeah,
That's when I would
but
say
again,
it's Hiccup's
I
helmet.
can't.
But
yeah,
in the
but-
first
but-
scene, it feels way too big. Or, I mean,
I
the
don't know.
symbol is
I
what I
don't
would say,
know.
like, connects
I-
it back
I
to
figured-
Berk, at least, anyways,
Yeah, I
right?
might be right.
Maybe that's what they intended, but personally, I just figured that it was Hiccup's helmet from the moment they showed it, because again, they played the music, they put a focus on it. And even if it was necessarily, why do the whole world descended for Vikings thing?
I mean,
Again, you
I'm
want to
fine
you want
with
to
that,
do,
though.
I am not, and I'll tell you why. Because you start the whole show off with this. Oh, maybe How to Train a Dragon was just a tale. Maybe it's not real. Maybe legends and stuff. And then you have this thing, which is like, well, okay, you know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
I mean,
Is it a legend? Is it connected? And why is this random blonde Tom Holland guy suddenly, all of a sudden, at the center of the Vikings? We don't need it to be connected to Hiccup and Toothless necessarily.
The synopsis is
it
obviously right. The synopsis obviously says like it's not a legend. This is what happened. The whole Hiccup and Toothless story happened in this world, and this is
But
a
then-
continuation.
but
Out of
again-
world. Yeah.
But again,
Okay,
you start them. You start the show off with them saying maybe it was a legend. So
Yeah, because
again,
that was the whole point of Hiccup, right? Hiccup was like, let this be. It's what's said in the end of How to Train Dragon 3. The world believes that dragons are a legend, that some say they never existed at all, etc., etc. That's the whole point.
Okay.
They're now.
Yeah, I get that,
Gone.
but at the same time, if you're gonna make Tom someone who goes where descended of Vikings, wouldn't he have a bit more of a belief in dragons before he sees the cow?
No, because again, right? Like, I feel like this is more a you thing. I'm going to be honest, right? This is the one.
Yeah,
this
maybe
is
it is
this
my
is
thing.
a nitpick thing that I'll say, right? I don't have a problem with this because you could probably find half the world and right now that are probably related to Vikings in some way, shape, or form, or can say that they're descended from, right?
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah,
honest,
but
which is fair. So like
I
them
know
saying
that
this,
I know it's probably
I
a nitpick.
get why
but-
they're doing
but-
it. I see why you have a problem with it, but I don't much care about this. This doesn't bother me because it's a one-off line that you can kind of attribute to many different things. Granted, we know why they're doing it, but
For the record,
Yeah,
it
and the
isn't-
reason they're
in
doing
this
make
it
it-
is what bothers me.
Yeah, okay.
True,
For the
fair.
record, it's not. I'm not saying this is a make it or break it for the show. I'm
Oh, no.
not saying that it's a big problem with the show. I'm just saying that starting your season with it, starting your show with it, is kind of it's not putting me in the right set of mind, especially if you're gonna try, I assume, to do your own thing later on.
Actually, do you know what the first reference to the original series was in this?
no.
It's actually Rest is for the Weak in the beginning.
Oh yeah, they do
I'm
say
pretty
that.
sure someone says Rest is for the Weak, and I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be a reference, but could not be. If it is, well done.
But okay,
Hats off to
so my nitpicks aside, so what do so you said that you have a problem with it with how the season ends. So let's hear that. What if we're on the topic? What itches you about this being
Me?
Hiccup's
I don't have a
helmet?
problem with how it ends. It's just
Ian mentioned
Oh,
that.
okay.
So
go for it.
Did I? With
one
how
of
it
you did.
ends. Oh no,
Yeah.
I just said you guys said that it ended on a climax, and I was just really curious about what your definition
mean-
of climax is because I can't remember the end.
I mean, climax being right. We have the big battle with the Fault Ripper dragon. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Also,
that's
by the
kind of
way,
it.
yeah, that was a weird thing in that episode. So they see a dragon and they just like instantly, yeah, that's a Fold Ripper. They never discuss the name
Listen,
for it. It's just like it's
the
a
dude
Fold
just
Ripper.
comes up with names, and he's quite good at it because he's quote unquote fish legs.
Yeah, but again, you know what I was about to say, that maybe you could say that Tom is the not hiccup, but at least I would say that I forgot. Like there's Alex, and what's
He ain't
the other
not
girl's
hiccup.
name?
That role's already
Yeah.
taken. Don't slander
In
Magnus's
this
name
show
like that.
and in this universe, Wolf, don't start with me on this, please. But okay, like Tom
Slandering
is
not
not
Hiccup's
hiccup.
name.
So what's the other girl? What's
For
the other
shame.
girl's name? Not Alex, the other one, the not love
June.
interest.
June, yeah.
She's
June.
not the love
So-
interest, damn it. I deny that. I all right, listen.
Okay, what is your theory then?
Okay,
No,
you know what?
I
You
don't
know
have
what?
a theory.
Since was
I
mentioned
just-
that,
DreamWorks.
What do you?
All right, DreamWorks. I mean, we have a show with a girl with two moms in the show. All right, if you're gonna stand up to represent, it needs to be Tom and D'Angelo. It needs to be the relationship of this show. Let's go.
Okay, can we talk about this thing? Because the thing is, there is lesbian parents. There's I think D'Angelo's mother is in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
Like it genuinely feels like they just had a checklist and they were like, yes, this,
Yeah.
yes, this. Now that's not necessarily bad, but it is bad if you don't do anything with it. It's just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's two mothers. Deal with it. Okay, cool. Like,
Well,
It feels like
on the one hand,
and also,
so cool.
this comes from DreamWorks. You did She-Ra, you did Kipo, you got it right.
yeah. And
Don't
then
do
this,
it wrong.
I'm kind
it's just like a
I'm,
list of stuff, and it's like, yep, we got it in there. Cool, sweet. Now we can go on with the show.
I mean, if they do something with it, fair play. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If they do more, I'm happy with that. Like DreamWorks, they set the trail in this. Disney didn't come out with the Owl House until She-Ra did extremely well. Let's be clear on that.
Right.
DreamWorks started this trail. They opened the door first, more or
Yeah.
less, kind of. Anyways.
Yeah, but
they
you know,
did
you know
more or less
something-
start the more
Okay,
recent trend,
guys,
I would say,
I
with
will
She-Ra,
say
with
this.
Kipo. So I would love to see DreamWorks, if they're going to come out and say, hey, we represent, then do more. Like, do something with these characters, but also, have our two main characters be in a gay relationship. Let's do that. Let's have that. We haven't had that yet. We've done lesbians. Let's do gay now. Come on. Let's do this. Give the representation. Represent our trans folk. Represent our ace folk. Represent our bi folk. Let's go.
Honestly, if they were gonna do that with Tom and D'Angelo, honestly, it just feels like another check mark at this point because there's
Fair.
no.
But if they do
no
something with
connection.
it, then I support that. I'm for that. Let's go.
Sure. But right now, it just
But
feels
true,
like
if it's just the checkbox, no. Screw you.
Yeah,
really that's
I
what
will
it feels
say-
like right now.
Which is fair.
Yeah, to me. It felt to me like a checkbox too, but also I am also kind of glad that they're just there and it's treated as a completely normal thing. But I get you. I get you. I get from the side though that if it's just a checkbook thing, then they're not main characters. Like
At
they're
the
connected
very
to the
least-
main characters.
At
but
the very
it's
least,
not that
I'd
they get a
rather it be
dragon
there
at this
than them do
time,
something
but-
horrible, right? Like having it be
Yeah.
there and them do nothing wrong with it, just they don't do anything with it at all, is better than them do something and them be kind of homophobic or, what's the one for disabled people, the word? I forget. I'm horrible, I know.
Insulting to disabled people, maybe.
More or less that, yeah. There's a word for it, but yeah, that. Like,
Mhm.
I'd rather it be there, them do nothing with it, and it just be okay, and it be there, than them do something horrible. But I would
Sure,
like to
but at
see
that
them
point-
try with it. I do agree.
At that point, it's just a small plot line of a side character that really didn't matter. Like, why did you put that in there?
True.
It's just
Like, as of right
Why?
now, it doesn't make a difference. But if it does end up making a difference, and if it does end up mattering to some degree or another, I fully support that, and I am
That'd be great.
100% behind that. Because they did do something with Alex, the one who has the two lesbian moms.
yeah.
because she has a major fear of animals, right? They specifically go into that, and I thought that was really a good scene from that, because it's something
Yeah,
that's
that
unique to
was
that character and makes her feel more like a character and a person and a human being, but also it's something that is relatable. Like, that's a fear that a lot of people have. That's something that a lot of
Yeah.
people have been through. Like, oh, pet the dog, it
yeah.
won't do anything to you, it'll
You
be
know
fine if you just pet
something?
it and acknowledge it. And it bites her, and that scarred her for life.
Yeah, that's an
Which
episode that I really liked.
that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I also like that because that conversation Tom and Alex had, this was the very first time I felt like kind of the spirit of How to Train Your Dragon was there.
Yes.
Because that is that How to Train Your Dragon scene of characters just talking about their problems, talking about their fears, and helping each other with it.
It's the first time I really had hope in the show, to be honest, that I was like, okay, this might actually have a chance.
Well, I mean,
like, if they continue this, that'd be great. If they just keep having these story beats.
I felt that we did get that for June and her dragon as well, where, she gets a bit of the dragon helping her kind of realize that, oh, you can't just boss it around and expect that to work, right?
Yeah, but
it's not as good as the Alex talking about her fear of dogs and animals in general and stuff like that scene, but it does. I mean, it's a smidgen. It's a smidgen
honestly,
of on the right track.
With her, it just felt like, oh man, this isn't working. I guess I'll try it this way. It didn't feel like development. It felt more like, well, I guess I'll have to do this.
Personally, I see it as a thing of maybe she was trying to imitate her mother a little bit with how she was acting, with the little bit we've seen from her mother, and she realizes, I can't be like that. She's the short, bossy lady.
Comically short lady.
Yeah, comically short.
Mm-hmm.
With the super tall hat to make her seem less short.
Again, the Claire and the Edna mode hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. Her. I don't know her name, May. Actually. May. Oh. Aunt May.
May Wong, voiced by Lauren Tom.
Okay.
I don't know who Lauren Tom is. I don't know who many of these voice actors are, to be honest, looking at this list. They've probably been in stuff that I've watched and enjoyed, but I don't know their names.
That's the magic of voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the every character got each, like, their own episode, sort of. Tom got 2, realistically, but that's fair enough.
Well, he's Hiccup. He's got to get more.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the only one I really enjoyed out of that was Alex's.
Yeah, Alex is probably so far my favorite character in the show, and not just because I have a friend named Alex. So
I liked Alex's, and I liked. Oh, go ahead.
Alex is not my favorite character, especially not the first couple episodes.
Yeah, no, she's not mine either. As far as like characters getting their dragons and having those scenes, I liked Alex's the most, and then I felt D'Angelo's came a close second for me, and then June's.
D'Angelo is a character that I like in concept, but there's something about him that's like, I don't feel like he's all the way there yet. And again,
episode was weird as well, as in his character development. It was like, him seeing all the dragon stuff and being scared of it and yada yada. Okay, understandable. Then he sees what did he name his dragon again?
Plowhorn.
Yeah,
not Meatlug.
That is genuinely a good name for a dragon. The others are a little worse, but that is genuinely a good name.
Again, kids good at names. I respect that. I think that's what they're trying to set up for a character trait for him, is that he's good at names on the fly.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he names pretty much everything other than the other dragons' names.
The thing that really annoyed me on that episode is that he was like looking at Plowhorn and being like, I should really, help her. I want to say her, right?
Yeah, her.
Which kind of a side note. If I told you that I got that he's the not fish legs, would you believe me?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
And that's kind of the problem, because I feel like there's certain characters where you can tell they kind of flanderize him a bit to get across that idea of like, oh, you remember this character, right? And that's kind of one of
So
my
again,
problems
I
with
felt
it.
that I did start talk about it. I think June and Alex are kind of out of that norm. I didn't necessarily look at June and thought she's the not Astrid or the not Rough Nut or not Valka, and same for Alex. I thought they were legit new characters, but Tom and D'Angelo are like Hiccup and Fish Legs, only not.
I didn't get that with Tom as much.
Yeah,
but
I didn't quite
D'Angelo
get
for
Hiccup,
sure.
but D'Angelo, yeah. But
There are moments where he does kind of do hiccupy things, but also because because maybe it's also the way he's written and not necessarily him, because he's the one that, because the way. Okay, you know what?
I'll tell you the thing I got it from the most
This
was
is
the
a game.
dragons.
The thing that's a game I play with myself, sorry. Let's take every time Tom refers to Thunder as Pal, write it down and switch Pal to Bud. Hiccup.
I mean, personally, like I said, right, I got it the most from the dragons, which was the thing that bothered me. Like, you can tell, June's dragon, Wu and Wei, that she names it, is supposed to be
that's
Barf
annoying.
and Belch, right?
Why
it's supposed to,
don't you just do a hideous Sybil back?
Right?
Why not?
Right. This is my biggest complaint about the show is like, we have so many really amazing dragon designs. Why are we using new ones that are supposed to represent the old things? Why can't we just use some new dragons that we have old designs of?
You could argue that Thunder. I think even the show site and stuff and the promotion stuff say that he's a nightlight. So it's not like we can't use dragons that we had in the previous franchise, but because that's also gonna bring up the question. Obviously, the show is never gonna talk about it, right? But it did cause me to think: can cross-species dragon hybrids can exist? Because that dragon, like the Wei and Wei or
Wu and Wei,
because it's obviously like a Zippelberg because two heads, but the heads look more Monster's Nightmare, more like Hook Fang, or even like Golf or something like that.
I'm pretty sure in an interview, I'm pretty sure someone on the show mentioned that they just wanted a dragon inspired by Asian culture. That was the entire thought behind it.
Exactly what they're doing, right? Because Alex's dragon Feathers, right, is designed after Quetzalcoatl, which is Mesopotamian descent.
Which, by the way, if I have to choose a favorite dragon, then I'll probably choose Feathers. I don't know. I thought she was great.
I didn't like Feathers in the promotional images, but in the show, it's genuinely really.
Honestly, also Thunder.
Feathers introduction, everything about Alex's episode was just really good.
Actually. Yeah, it's like the one episode. It's like the one episode. But
Feathers is great. Alex is great. The character development is great. Fucking Feathers mimicking the microwave sound is adorable. I won't lie. I went, "Aw, that's cute."
Yeah, but then like you have because I also think Thunder, that like in images I didn't really like his design all that much. Again, it felt like he looks like even in the show he looks like a cow sometimes.
I mean,
but
I'm sorry, it's his head. It looks so odd. Like looking at the background, which is I think is a promotion image, that we're using for our background for this video. His face just looks odd. Like it looks goofy. It looks so goofy.
It looks smushed.
But I said before, the Nightlights to me looked super clowny and goofy too. So they're continuing on the trend.
I mean,
okay, you know something? Can we, if we are talking about Thunder for a second, one part about
you mean Winger?
No, not Winger. Shut up. Thunder. If we can talk about one thing that it's one of those. I'm kind of iffy about it now, but maybe they could do something with it. I don't know, future seasons, blah blah blah. But there's this episode where they kind of hint on the fact that maybe he's the last of his kind, and it's like this is pisses me off because now we're just doing Toothless again.
Yeah, that was.
I think that was Alex's episode actually, where they flies up to the sky. And
he wanted to go up there where the lightning was to see if like, oh, there's more of me up there. It's like, hey, don't worry. And at the end, you get like Tom talking to him. It's like, hey, don't worry, pal. We'll we'll look for more of your kind. And it's like,
we're
just
and
doing
it's like
again, and I'm just kind of
okay. So you know what? Maybe you can say that I'm overlooking the helmet thing with Tom, but this is literally Toothless again.
No, like
this is doing Toothless again.
I stand by it. The dragons to me, I get more of the hey, we're doing this again than some of the human characters. D'Angelo
do you know who the do you know who the Grimmel of this series is going to be? It's just going to be the corporation.
Oh yeah,
no motherfucker, no. I have a theory. No, motherfucker. Reiko Corp. Here's your theory. This show will be the best How to Train Your Dragon show ever if the owner of Reiko Corp shows up and they are like the great however many greats you need descendant of Mildew. I will love this show.
I did not see Mildew coming.
I was sure that
I was waiting for Grimmel.
I was waiting for either Grimmel or that he was gonna say Vigo, but no freaking Mildew.
No, has to be Mildew. I will love this show, hands down.
Yes.
It will be the best show.
Okay, listen. No, it will be the best show ever. If it will be the best show ever, if just some guy from the corporation comes in with dreadlocks and everything, and he starts screaming for no reason, and they say he's just like his ancestors.
Yeah, what if they reveal though? Another theory for you. What if they reveal that, like we see the symbol on Tom's helmet that, which so dumb, right? That Thunder like breathes out his lightning blast, like, oh wow, it leaves the Night Fury symbol. That was so stupid. But whatever. I'll let it pass. I'll let that one slide. You need your little bait and everything for the next season. I get it. But what if Tom isn't a descendant of hiccups? He's a descendant of mildews.
Oh Christ. No, you're just going too far. Sorry, but
listen,
that's not.
All I'm saying is John Tellegen worked on Race to the Edge. He worked on Defenders of Berk, and he worked on Riders of Berk, and now he's working on Nine Realms.
Okay,
I know.
John Tellegen, I'm behind you, man.
If we can actually,
let's do it.
Hold on.
You want to do
hold on.
it?
Let's actually.
No, you
if
want
I
to.
may. Okay, if I may actually legitimately look at this as a plausible option, okay? If we're actually gonna look at it like this, I will say, considering, would they prefer to reference something from the sideshow that some people don't even know about?
Yes.
Or are they gonna reference something from the movies, which are the main draw?
I would, because it would piss everyone off. John Tellegen, let's do it. I'm there for you if you do it. I will support you.
But you are not writing the show, don't you, Wolf?
But John Tellegen is. And I support you if you do it. Listen to us. Do it. You know you want to.
No, it's not us. It's just you. There's no us in this.
I speak for the fandom.
Oh, okay.
No.
All the fandom wants it.
You know what, Ian? Ian, let's just pack up and go home. Wolf, obviously.
Yep. My God. That's a theory. A dragon
game theory.
Thank you for watching.
And y'all
Fly
call me
on.
bad.
Okay, but anyway, back to... So, that's something a problem I kind of have with this show. In a sense, again, nitpick, because obviously it kind of happened because the show needs to happen. But there's a point, after Tom meets Thunder, there's a point where he's about to take a picture of him and film him, and it's like, nah, maybe I shouldn't let people know about you right now. Which they try to explain it as, our parents work for the corporation. The corporations are gonna hold them. You know what? Again, it's one of those, we kind of need the show to keep going. So here's an explanation. fine.
Is this
Not anything.
anti-capitalist
Hey.
propaganda?
Support
Yeah, but okay. You know
communism
what? Fine.
forever,
I don't
brother.
care.
Comrade.
Oh, okay.
But okay. You know what? Let me finish, for God's sake.
No.
Okay, but
This is a communism podcast now. You need to share your time.
I do. I let you guys talk, but you don't let me talk.
Oh yeah, whoops. Oh
I'm
yeah, I
the
forgot
host.
about that.
It's
Yeah, I'm
the
sorry about
Berkcast
that.
with your host HC, not with your host Ian
Yeah,
and Wolf
it does.
and maybe.
It does say that here. Yeah,
I did say I speak for the fandom, so as someone who speaks for the fandom, I deny any and everyone time except for me.
Well,
wait, that's not how communism works.
Well, now you're gonna
That's
see
how capitalism works.
It's true.
Now you're gonna see how anti-capitalism works. You Wolf. Anyway, moving on to one of my points. So he goes, okay, I can't let the corporation know about this. Okay, fine. Minor excuse to kind of make the show going. I get it. Not that big a deal. But but suddenly, oh, now June knows. Oh, now this guy knows. Oh, now Alex knows. Oh, now, and I'm guaranteeing to you, in the next season, more people are gonna know because Tom's mother has this like hazy memory of seeing her son riding a freaking giant, flying on a giant lizard kind of thing.
Listen,
So
we all know how the season's gonna end. It started with an asteroid opening up the hidden world. It's going to end with another asteroid closing it.
But actually, you know what? What the fuck is the idea of an asteroid just hitting Canada for no reason? Did we really need this?
I don't know what that was about.
Because that's where the hidden world migrated to over time.
Okay, Niagara Falls.
That's not
remember,
how quick.
Before it was like in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know...
I don't feel
it's in the middle
like
of the land somewhere now, so you know, don't look at me. How to Train Your Dragon did this. They're the ones that have the weird
guys,
geological movement patterns.
I will fully support this idea as long as it means that scene in Superman 2 was filmed near the hidden world. You know what? I'll buy it just for that little fun fact.
Also, do you think they just recycled the Heartstone from Troll Hunters for the Hidden World scene?
Oh God, you know what? I thought about that. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Oh man, imagine if there's like a behind-the-scenes video. Yeah, and here we just copy and paste. There we go. And we're done.
This is the part of the process I'm gonna show you. Yeah.
Why didn't they just copy and paste some of the dragons then, man?
Oh, that's a good. Well, actually, they probably did from some.
They only used one dragon, and that was the Terrible Terror. Why does that one always get reused? You have so many other good dragons out there. Like, no offense, like the Quetzalcoatl thing. I love feathers; it's a great design. But you do know that we have change wings that can already go. We had a dragon that could already go invisible.
Yeah, I'll be back on this topic because that really annoyed me. With feathers,
that was one of my big. That's one of my big nitpicks of Nine Realms.
The thing is, with feathers, I didn't mind it that much because that's a fairly unique dragon design, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
But with Plowhorn and
Wu and Wei,
Bath and Belch, not Bath and Belch, sorry.
Yeah. By the way, Ian, finish.
Like,
I'll get to it later.
It's just like, yeah, this is literally just Meatlock and Bath and Belch. Like, you could have just used a Hideous Hippleback and a Gronkle,
or
that would have been fine.
Or
just different colors.
Don't even use them. Use completely different dragons as well. Like again, I go back to it. We have so many dragons out there that were introduced that have really cool designs that I've heard many fans say, I would love if this dragon got more screen time and was able to do more. And it's like, hey, we're getting a new show. We're gonna use completely new dragons, but
even in the movies, there's tons of species.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm fine with you creating more new dragons, but you have like, even the Thought Ripper, right? Like it's a dragon that digs through Earth. We have a dragon already that does that. Why not use that one?
It's like
it's right there.
It's like the problem isn't the fact that there are new dragons. It's the fact that they are exactly like the old ones. So why bother create new ones?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's just
And on that note,
Well, no. Hold on. You say why create new ones if there's already existing ones? They created new ones from the existing ones.
Yeah, but that's the point, though. That's the point. If you're gonna do the same thing functionally,
Hey, if their
then
plan is
why
to show
not
us
just
that
use?
like they have more cross-species mating going on, like with Toothless and the Light Fury, fine. But
Which, by the way, can I just say that I have a theory that Thunder, despite obviously it's a nightlight, but something tells me at some point one of the nightlights fucked a Skrill, because why is the main
come out and say it.
is the
Okay.
main because why the hell is this thing's main firepower is lightning? I know
Yeah, that also
Toothless
confused
says
me.
that. Because I know Toothless has it too, but Toothless said it was like his extra power. That was how he eventually triggered the camouflage thing, which we see Thunder do. So what kind of a cross species thing is happening here? And also but that would also imply then that if we are doing the entire Thunder is the last of his kind, then what about the other nightlights? Because obviously new ones can be created, so what the hell is the deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, that was also a concern of mine. Why is Thunder suddenly the main, like, firing power of, well, Thunder? It doesn't make much sense.
Unless, like HG said, fuck the Skrill. We're gonna be blunt about it. Which, hey,
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair
cool
enough.
with.
I mean, there is
you
some.
have relationships with whoever you want, Toothless.
Yeah,
I mean, that would.
I
kind
didn't
of
say
explain the
Toothless.
fucked
I
up
said one of the
face.
nightlights.
We all know it's
But
Toothless.
Speaking of which, though,
Toothless was playing, mate.
just to kind of, I do have a question about the not zipper bag, though. Is it weird that one of those hands shoots ice when that was kind of like the bewilder uniqueness? And why
You're trying to say
that,
what I think you're trying to say.
What the hell, Ian?
That
What the hell,
Ian,
you
that
guys?
was me. No, I'm referring to you. Are you trying to say what I think you're trying to say?
Am I trying to say that? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it looks like a hideous Zippleback. It has the power of, a Bewilder Beast. Are you trying to say that?
Oh no! Oh no! You know what? Sure. Actually,
Christ.
you know what?
We're all adults.
You know
I
what?
mean, the hidden
You know what,
world was
Wolf?
just one giant. Anyway.
No.
There was a Bewilder Beast there.
I'll tell you exactly what
There
this
was a
thing
Bewilder
is.
Beast there.
That is Omelets. Okay, that thing is Omelet's offspring. Remember Omelet?
Yo,
Our
I
precious
support.
Omelet?
I support our boy or girl, because we never really figured out what Omelet was, dating and having a relationship with whoever they want.
But there you go. So
I support Omelet.
Omelet, to those who don't know, is the name we gave Valka's Bewilder Beast.
Christ.
Hashtag support Omelet.
I don't think Omelet would have had enough time to fully produce a baby.
Well, I said offspring. It could be many generations later, like how Thunder is not necessarily one of the nightlights from the end of the Hidden
That's fair enough. You could have also said Snow Wraith, by the way, but that's besides the point.
That's too easy, though. And it's not as funny.
Okay, fair enough.
And I might have forgotten.
We're only talking main franchise dragons here. Wait, Skrill isn't even a main franchise dragon.
Well, you guys say that the show counts, so whatever.
Well, that's again a whole other discussion.
I count everything. I just put it all in the same world, the same messed up, deranged world, and just kind of work with it because it's more fun that way.
Is Nine Realms also part of this now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's all connected. How? Don't ask me. I don't know. Someone out there will figure it out. Someone out there is going to go through and look at Reiko Corp. All right, 7 degrees and times by 3 and plus 30 million and minus 1300 equals this spells out mildew. How? I don't know, but they'll figure it out. I believe in the internet.
So I guess, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we just jump into the last episode? Because I have things to say.
I'm curious to ask, favorite character? Because I know we said we loved Alex's show, not our favorite character.
Yeah.
No.
No, you know what? I'll say Alex is my favorite character.
Oh, Alex annoyed me so much.
Agreed.
No, I can't say Alex. The thing is, she is just such a freaking nerd stereotype. It cannot be my favorite character.
And
it's
to be honest, her voice is kind of annoying.
I didn't think that as much. But
I found it a little grating here or there at certain points. Most of the time it was fine, but at certain points it felt a little grating.
Yeah, I didn't notice that as much, but it was just like the first episode. It was just like standard nerd can only look at the screen and doesn't want to talk. I was like, oh god. Honestly, even the beginning of Alex's episode, I was like, oh great, now they're doing the always wants to be in sight, which okay, they gave a reason for it.
Which was good.
But it's just kind of all of the characters are really just stereotypes. June is just the spiritual,
for the record, though,
quote
when I
unquote
say
weirdo, right?
Yeah, and I just want to say, for the record, that when I say Alex is my favorite, it's not that the character is perfect, but I say that from the entire core cast, she's the one that I found myself liking and connected with the most.
In that case, I don't have a favorite character because I don't feel connected to any of them right now.
Oh, I don't either, but I would say like the ones who, you know what, I like you, would be between June and D'Angelo. They're the ones who kind of like, yeah, you're cool. You have potential.
No, I didn't like June as much either.
Which is fair. I don't think she's going to be a lot of people's favorite, but I enjoyed her.
I might just have to go with Tom, honestly, because
you main character vanilla bitch.
I know. I mean,
wow.
I couldn't even finish it without breaking out.
I just
H2 on it because this was a sick burn.
Christ.
That wasn't sick. Don't give me that much credit.
No, it wasn't that great. But of all the characters, I have the least problem with Tom. So it isn't a very meaningful award, but I guess Tom gets the award.
That's fair. That's
by
fair.
process of elimination, he gets the award.
So I just want to talk about the last episode.
I'm going to say Thunder. Thunder is my favorite.
You know what? Might
That's
as well. We can count Toothless as its own character.
Oh no, Feathers.
Yeah, Feathers.
I definitely like
okay,
Feathers. Yeah, Feathers.
I'll admit, I do kind of like Wu and Wei. It's a hideous black. It's Barf and Belch, but I also liked Barf and Belch. So, it's fair that I would like Wu and Wei too.
By the way, just a quick side note, I love how starting with the second episode, we have like an intro which shows all the new riders on the dragon. It's like, yep, not spoiling anything here. So
I mean, we already know the promo images.
Yeah, but now comes the thing with so last episode, guys. I really want to. There are just some things that like kind of left me with a bad taste in my mouth, and also maybe they can redeem themselves afterwards. I don't know.
Oh,
but there's this thing with the final episode where we are suddenly starting to see people from the corporation coming in. It's like, so you're not getting any results. Let's speed this up. What's gonna end? We have this like a woman boss character, which doesn't do much, but I think should this show go on, I can see her walking. I don't think she walks as of now. And again, said this plenty of times, that's something I really hate in shows like this these days, but at least I see potential. Now, the other thing, I think that the big bad dragon is kind of cool, and I like how, and I like this attack where he's like spiraling around with the the pillars of fire coming out of his
Oh, yeah.
nose and stuff. That's cool. The thing is, there's only one build up to this thing, which is like in episode 3, give or take. And then nothing about it until he suddenly just pops out of the ground. It's like, oh, there's this big dragon, and okay.
Well, kind of episode 1.
I mean, they had the
did-
earthquakes, but that was
Yeah,
it.
the earthquakes always
Yeah,
happened,
but that's kind of it, and we don't, and it's not. It wasn't built up properly. It was too rushed, and then following all of that, we kind of suddenly do this hidden wall thing of we have to say goodbye to the dragons, probably forever, and it's like you can't do How to Train a Dragon 1 to 3, which is around 5 hours of film in less than 2 hours.
I applaud that. I applaud that. I applaud that. They did all 3 films. They did the forbidden friendship scene. They did the romantic flight scene. They did the hidden world scene in like
good.
The
half the time. I applaud
the
that.
amount of freaking references they did to the movies just really hurt. It genuinely physically made me cringe at some point.
Again, right? Like it feels like they want to remind you, which is fine. You can remind us, but I feel like I hope honestly that it was executive meddling and not so much they wanted to do that, because they went too hard in it, in my opinion. They went too hard in trying to, hey, you remember How to Train Your Dragon? We're giving you that again. Not quite, but we're trying to remind you of it, so you get back into it. And it's like, fair, but you don't have to go that hard, yo. I already like dragons. I'm already in.
I appreciated the start with the book, right? Basically saying, yeah, the legends, whatever. We get a couple, drawings of Hiccup and Toothless together and all that. Like, okay, so the legends exist in this world. Great, that's established. Sure, that's a great reference. But like to just reenact the whole forbidden friendship thing is just no. Considering they're also just talking throughout the scene, by the way, completely missing the point of forbidden friendship.
Yeah, actually, can we talk about it? Not just the fact that there's dialogue in a scene which works beautifully with little to no dialogue, but also what is the main, what is the thing that starts forbidden friendship? That's right, the fish scene. Hiccup feeds Toothless fish. Toothless regurgitates some of it and tells Hiccup, eat it.
Oh yeah,
and that's the start. That's the start of it. So here they do the exact same thing with fish snack. And there's this whole bit, and there's this whole bit of I don't like the snack, and Thunder is like, and that's how it sounds. I don't know. And Tom is like, well, I guess I get it. It's like they kind of do this joke where it repeats itself. It's like
same thing.
I can't believe you're dissing the nugs, though. Like, come on, man.
It's the exact same thing, but just how to make it work. Not woke, sorry.
I was about to say.
It's not this. You can, and again, this is what I mean by a mockbuster. It's this scene. This is recognizable as what you're trying to rip off, quote unquote. But it's not it, because
even the dialogue was almost one-on-one. The dialogue was almost one-on-one as well. Not dialogue, I guess. The physical dialogue was almost the same as well. Like freaking Thunder also being like, "Aren't you gonna, chew on it or anything?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even that was all the same. It was really annoying.
Hey, let's be clear here, right? We wouldn't. I think it's worth saying, right? Like, the show isn't terrible. The show isn't bad because it copied. It's our problem isn't that it copied. Our problem is we want you to be different. We want you to do your own thing. Like, yes, you're dragons. We get that. There are some things we are gonna kind of want to see as fans, sure. But if you don't show them, anyone who complains, ignore them. We don't care about them. Who gives a shit if someone's complaining that you didn't do the dragons thing again?
No. For the record,
Okay, so the
I
hand
don't
thing.
mind.
So they
I don't
reference the hand
mind.
thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. Like if dragons did that in the original movies and stuff, yeah, they'll probably do it now as well. Fine. But
It's when you go to like redoing scenes, you know, and be even if you're not the exact same, you're similar enough that you're trying to invoke a certain memory, like that nostalgia. It becomes a problem because you're never going to be able to strike, you know, hit lightning twice, right? So do something different, do your own thing, you know.
Nice point.
Here's what I say. I don't mind that some things
Wasn't
are
even trying with
similar,
that one. Good
right?
catch.
No, Wolf, let me finish this. I don't mind that things are similar, right? I don't mind if we do the fish thing again. I don't mind if we do Forbidden Friendship again or Test Drive. The problem I have is that if the scenes aren't going to be done well, if you're gonna forget what made the original scenes great, if you're just gonna bank on nostalgia, then no. And honestly, this is a question that I kind of had in the back pocket, and I want to ask you guys: do you think this show may have worked better if it was maybe 10 years later when people would kind of move on a bit more from How to Train Your Dragon? And there would be no more reason to nostalgia bet?
I mean, animation would have evolved. But besides that,
But would they have given it the budget? Probably
No.
not.
I mean, if to be honest, in like 5 or 6 years, there's the theme park that's gonna open, right? That Train Dragon themed section, at least, possibly. Rumors. If they'd released it then that would have probably been a better time than now.
I don't know. I
Because
don't
I
think it would
feel
have
like
mattered if they're still
because
doing if it's the exact same thing we just got, just you know, 5-10 years from now.
I'm not
It might have
necessarily
been more
saying that.
disappointing.
No, actually,
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'm not sure if it would be necessarily if it would be better in a few days, if in a few years time or not. I'm just saying maybe I would have been a bit more accepting towards that at first. But as is, when the franchise is still fresh in my hand, and say what you want, kids show, kids films, How to Train Your Dragon always took the audience seriously. And this, I don't feel like it's taking me. I think it's pandering.
Fair enough.
And they're doing the
Fair.
very bare minimum to remind you of that movie. And
Is it
so,
pandering
so
more
you know,
than Rescue Riders?
oh yeah, because it actually tries. Because again, it tries to do the cues, it tries to do the scenes, but it's lesser. It's not there. It's not doing the. It's not having the. There are so many moments where I'm like, well, like when Thunder and Tom first fly, and there's kind of this version of of Test Drive playing. It's like I should feel something here, but I don't. I want to feel something here, but I don't. I want to feel something from this whole show reminding me of a franchise I love, but I don't. And if it's going to market itself as a sequel of any kind, then I'm sorry, you are coming in with some pre-expectations. And if you're not living up to them, that's a problem.
So, we've been kind of mean to Nine Realms so far. It's time to be a little nice. And I'll start by saying I actually really like the music behind this. Like the soundtrack. The soundtrack I actually really enjoyed. It's not it's different. It's not How to Train Your Dragon. They didn't try and like, oh, let's take songs from that or the music from that and remix it and do something different. No, it's you there are some stuff where it's like, hey, there's some, you know, kind of that old Viking influence again, but it does feel modern. Like there are more modern songs within this, or more modern takes, if you will, or themes. And I enjoyed that. I think they did really well. I think a lot of the music they used for this fit what they were doing, which is good. And I do hope, like, I do think Nine Realms has potential. There's stuff I have seen here that I think was good. Like we talked about it before. Alex's episode was good. They did some good stuff there. And they have some stuff in here that if they use it and do something with it, has potential to be good. And so I do have the hope that, yeah, we had this first season. It's a bit of a rough start, and they wanted to kind of hit on that nostalgia a little bit, even though that nostalgia's 3 years-ish old if you go by the last movie that came out. So, or 2 years, actually. thereabouts.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
3.
do.
It's gonna be 3 in a bit. So
Sure. All right. So I do hope that, all right, we've done that. We've got everything set up. Now let's jump into it and let's really do our own thing now, because we're not beholden into any movie, right? Again, I bring it back up. This is John Telligan. He worked on Riders of Berk. He worked on Defenders of Berk. He worked on Race to the Edge. And he's worked on other Dragons things, I think. Either way, I'm fairly certain he worked on those shows. So he's done the shows that were beholden to the movies, where he couldn't do certain things and he couldn't touch on certain things because certain movies hadn't come out yet, and he was stuck where he was at. Fair, fine. Now we're not. Now we have something that there is no new movie. There is no anything else. This is this show. So I hope he gets the chance to really dive in and explore more stuff and do more stuff. And I hope, John Telligan, if you're watching and listening, I know you are, because who wouldn't? You know, I speak for the fandom after all. I do hope that I do genuinely hope, though, that, you know, you do try to break away and do your own thing, because I would love to see that. I know we complained about seeing new designs, but it wasn't because they were new. It because they were trying to hint at or remind of or imitate something already there.
It's not the new designs. It's the fact that functionally they're not any different than what we had. So why bother make them new to begin with?
So I do hope we get to see and explore more new stuff, right? And they get to go places that How to Train Your Dragon wasn't able to, that the shows in the past weren't able to, because of the movies.
If we're kind of on this point of things we want for the future of this, should there be a future, then my thing is that I know I've been pretty critical of the show, but the reason I'm critical isn't because I'm like, a new thing, I want to hate it, because it's not. I am critical because I want a franchise that I hold very close and dear to my heart done justice, and I believe there's a potential here to do justice to the original. And the thing is that I feel like the show can give it to me at some point, and I feel like the show can eventually get better from this point on. The problem is that we haven't seen enough of it. And like I said probably a few times throughout this podcast, maybe when season 2 comes out, or season 3, or however many seasons there are gonna be, maybe I'll suddenly look back at this whole thing and say, wow, they showed me wrong, with a fresh retrospective. So you know what, show? If you have any answers to any of the criticisms I have, in the back pocket, and you're just ready to play that card, by all means, I'll be here and I'll give it a chance. I hope that they can prove me wrong on some of my criticisms. Now, another thing I kind of want to see, because they didn't really put any emphasis on it, nor did they really talk about it, but I know this is something. Thunder is obviously a descendant of Toothless, and official sources even say that he is a descendant of Toothless. My question, because there's a point in the show, I think it's with whatever D'Angelo's dragon is, when they fight those
Plowhorn.
Those things,
Gem breakers.
So those things don't like bow to Thunder, or they don't bow to Thunder. They don't treat them with any respect, which means maybe at some point, Toothless was dethroned as the Alpha. Maybe, potentially, or maybe he's in. Well,
that's more likely.
But here's the thing: we can say he died, yes, but is it like with, let's say, Stoic and Hiccup, when one dies, then the son becomes the chief? So he's one of the other knights.
I have a response for you.
Wait. So I do want, if there is some sort of a clarification about this, and also why is Thunder suddenly the last Nightlight? If there's a connection or something, I actually want to learn about that because what exactly happened to Toothless's alpha state? Did it just pass down the generations and Thunder is just not the one to receive the title? Or did something else happen? Was Toothless dethroned while he was alive or something? What exactly happened to the alpha dragon? I want to know about that. If the show can answer that, it'll be interesting.
So my response to you is, this ain't no dragon monarchy. Please.
It's a dragon democracy.
Yay! What can I say?
No, but
of course, I have an idea
genuinely
that I
think,
want to
like,
hear about. And
giving you a genuine response, right? I do think, again, Toothless dies of old age, and that doesn't mean like, oh, now one of his kids are alpha. I feel like they would set up it's not going to work that way. So you have to earn that position, quote unquote. Does that mean we're going to see a new alpha that Thunder's going to have to take down, and then Thunder becomes the alpha? And if that's the case, we're doing the movies again. Please stop.
yeah, if you know something, if they do that, then I'm gonna be sorry that I asked, because this is the one thing I don't want. Don't do the movies again.
Listen, if someone, I will unequivocally dislike this show if someone pulls out their phone and said, or if Alex pulls out her phone and says, let me look up this old tome that exists online, that's in a museum that they put up online that has a bunch of dragon stuff in it that no one believed. I will lose my shit if we have a dragon book, but it's online. I will lose my shit.
I have something better. Let's fucking make it like that. At some point, there's like a musical in this world called Headache, which is basically Hiccup's life as a musical, with like a parody of Hamilton. That would have been so freaking ridiculous and stupid, but you know what?
I kind of love that though.
It's just a rendition that they did in Homecoming.
It's the Avatar: The Last Airbender style deal.
It's
done
like
poorly.
The Amber Island prayers. That's what.
Yes.
I'm so scared.
It's Hiccup's life, but done the exact opposite and very poorly.
Yeah.
Snotless, the hero for once.
No. Again, just make it exactly not exactly right, but make it something like Hamilton, which is the past as told by the present or something, and there are like inconsistencies here and there, which makes them research it or something. I'm not being serious, by the way. This is just me doing a crack fic at this point, but like it would have been funny.
Oh god, they just find a YouTube video talking about it or something.
Mm-hmm. So, Ian, any hopes you have for the future of this? Anything you would love to see?
I mean, I kind of, got into it thinking I'll give it a chance and I'll see. And I kind of still am on the same spot as I was before watching it.
Still seeing.
I'll give it a.
Fair enough.
I'll give it a chance for season 2, but still don't know what to think of it.
Which is fair. I think it's definitely, it's got some growing pains. There's a chance there, but it has to work for it still.
They still just have to take it.
There's work to be done, but there's potential to this. It's just, are they gonna live up to it?
Let's just say I enjoyed watching Rescue Rider season 1 more so far.
Fair.
Well, so I guess if there's nothing else to add, that's all for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed it. What did you think about this first season of Dragons, the 9 Realms? What are your hopes for season 2? What did you like? What did you dislike? You can tell us all about it in the comment section below, on our Twitter, which is Berkcast with capital B, capital C, and on our Tumblr, which is Berkcast Team. Ian, where can the people at home find you?
I still have a coding website on barthandbell.ch.
Submit 9 Realms quotes right now.
No. Don't. I might have to make what was the not Barth and Belch names again? Wu and
Woonway.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to buy that domain now, don't I?
I mean,
Mhm.
you can. It's just the same quotes over again.
Yeah, exactly. Or on Twitter, each26, but it's primarily Dutch.
All right. So that's it. We hope you have a good night. Merry
wow,
Christmas.
I don't even
Happy
get an outro.
holidays.
No.
Yeah.
After your mildew theory, you don't deserve it.
Because this is
Chaos.
so anyway, happy holidays, people. We will see you all next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.